Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. Today I'm going to share a rules overview and review of Push. It's ages 8 and up, 2 to 6 players, and it takes 20 minutes. Let me show you how to play. The goal of the game is to collect the most points. And you collect points by collecting cards, and they are each worth whatever the number is on the card. For game setup, you just shuffle the cards and stick them in the middle, have the die handy, pick someone to go first. We're going to say this is a 3-player game, and we're going to say this player is going first. All you do on your turn is you flip out cards onto up to 3 stacks. You do not have to do 3 stacks, but you can do up to 3 stacks. And the only rule is on a stack, you cannot have the same number or color. So I can't place any more reds or purples on this stack. And this is a purple, so it has to go on another stack. That's it. Here we have a yellow 5, so it cannot go on this stack with a 5, but I can put it over here. And you can go as long as you want to until you go bust. There are also directional cards to take into account. At the end of a round, if somebody just said, oh, I'm done, they get to collect the first stack if they haven't gone bust. Then typically the other stacks are collected clockwise. So then this player would get to collect a stack if one is available. And in this, if they had stopped after this came out, before this came out, this player would have collected one, and then this player wouldn't have collected a stack. Because there's only the 2 stacks available. If a reverse direction comes out on a round, then if they end after this card, this person gets to collect a stack, and then the person counterclockwise gets to collect a stack. So just the order is reversed, and it's only per round. If another one of these came out the same round, then it would get reversed back, but it's only for the selection of cards at the end of the round. That's all that this determines. You can leave them in for a 2-player game, but they won't impact anything, and we usually do because it's just more work to take them out, so why bother? So I'll put this off to the side, and you keep track of that for the round. This is the other specialty card. This is bad. If you get this, then you have to roll this die, and I'll show you what that looks like at the end of the round. That's how you lose cards. So this player can just keep on going as much as they like until they think, oh, maybe I want to stop. So we'll see. There's only 5 different colors of cards. So this is a pretty nice stack here, and they're just putting points out for other people. So they might want to. But here, so now you get to where you better watch it, because there are 3 green cards out. We'll say that they go ahead and stop at this point. So now this person, it's their turn. They're saying, I'm going to stop. And what they do is they pick a stack to collect. They're going to pick the most points. You pick them, you place them in front of you according to color. Everybody can see it's according to color. Now, because this is out, instead of clockwise collecting the next cards, this side gets to collect the next cards. And we'll just say they're going to play it safe, and even though there's fewer points over here, they're taking these because they didn't want to get that one. So they're putting these in front of them to collect. And then the last player gets to collect this stack. Now, if there were only 2 players, whatever's left at the end just gets discarded. You don't get to collect 2 stacks. You can only collect up to 1 stack on any turn. And sometimes if you have a 4 or 5-player game, this really matters when it changes direction, because people who would have gotten cards now are not going to get them at all, and it just goes the other way. And all you do for this card is when you have that, you need to roll the die. And if you roll a color that you have to discard all of that color you've collected. So if it's later in the game and they have a whole bunch of, they've gotten more. So you just, every time you bank cards, you put some, every time you collect cards, you put them over here, and you have collections of different colors. So if then you roll a green, you had to have to discard all of those, not just from the current round. So it's just whatever color is rolled, that's what's discarded. If you don't have any of that color, nothing is discarded. And I'll take back the ones that they didn't actually get. Or if you roll a black, then everything is safe and nothing is discarded. The other thing that can happen is, we'll put these back over here. Let's say that instead of stopping, they said, oh, I want to keep on pushing along, and they put another card out, and oh, they went bust. There's not a spot. If there's not a spot to put the card, then you've gone bust. And what this player would have to do then is they discard the card they went bust with, and then they don't get to collect one of these stacks. And we'll say it's later in the game. So they have a few collected things in front of them. They have to not collect anything, discard the card, and then they roll the die, and then any of the color that they rolled would get discarded. So it's pretty bad if you go bust. And then the normal rules, they got the reverse direction. So then the other people would get to collect. This is a 3-player game. So this person would have collected these, and this person will say they played it safe and they would have collected these, and then these would just be discarded if that happened. Let's skip ahead a little further into the game. So the basics of every turn is pretty simple. You get to flip over cards and see what numbers you get to collect. However, your other option is, when it gets a little later, you might want to consider banking a color of cards. This player will say it's their turn. They can either choose to take a standard turn, or they can skip this part of their turn entirely and instead bank. They have quite a bit of points in yellow, and so instead they could bank these cards. All you do is you take the stack of just one color, put them face down beside your other cards, and then those cards are safe for the rest of the game. Even if they end up collecting, they can still collect more yellow cards in the future. And then if they did have an occasion where they rolled, they would still lose any face-up cards of that color over here, but anything that was banked would be safe. And at this point, you just keep on going. You either take your turn or bank your cards. You keep on going until the deck runs out, and then you tally up your points. There's no difference between, you just flip back up the banked cards to count them, tally up your points, and whoever has the most wins. And so it's cards in front of you. You get to count those up, and banked cards. Your total of all of that is your final score, and whoever's the most wins. So that's how to play Push. The target demographic for this game is, it's a family game. It has a wide appeal, very simple, great family game. The rule complexity is very easy, which is an admirable trait for a family game. For this game, to teach it to people, usually I just take the first turn, demonstrate how it works to put them in 3 different piles, and what happens if you bust, and then I say, okay, now your turn, and kind of help them through their first turn, what their choices are, and that's it. Which is really, really a great trait to have in the game, and is one of the best things about this game. How competitive is this game? It's low to medium. It is a competitive game. There's only one winner, but because it is a push your luck game, most of the decisions you are making are what impact yourself. So the cards that come up, you have some luck involved, but it's not like what other people are doing is they are on purpose doing anything that will hurt your chances to win very much. Occasionally, they can flip up the card and make it go to you where you don't get any other points, but you have to roll the die and see if you lose one of your color stacks of cards. But even then, you're not guaranteed to lose. If you roll something, you might roll black and not have to lose anything at all, or you might roll a color that you don't have a lot of. And there's luck involved. So we've played this a lot with small children, and nobody has ever gotten mad at anybody else while playing, which is pretty fantastic. Because of this, the replay value for this game is quite high. It has a nice player count. It's so easy to learn. It has a wide appeal. So I've just been getting this out for all sorts of different groups, for a family game night, for having moms play with me at a Girl Scout camp out. We had another mom event at my house, and this was my go-to game where we could chat and play, but it was interesting and nice. So it just, and it seems like everyone has very much enjoyed it every time. Nobody has said, oh gosh, yeah, I wouldn't play that again. Everyone has enjoyed it. And it kind of has, you know, like the casino feel, the push your luck. You think, oh gosh, if I played one more time, things would go just a little differently and maybe I'd win. So even if you don't win, you just feel like you were this close to getting that big hand and getting a lot of points, which is really great. You end the game wanting to play more. Similar games, if you like this, Zombie Dice. Zombie Dice is a push your luck dice game where basically you're just rolling for brains, and it's my 6-year-old son loves this game Push, and he also very much loves Zombie Dice because it's quick, easy, and he gets so excited about the push your luck element. If you're looking for more of an adult crowd, I would highly recommend Illusion. It's kind of the same thing where pretty much no explanation is required, and you just are, when you flip out another card, you're trying to place it in sequence according to color, and there's all sorts of different pictures on the cards, and it can be tricky. Oh, which one does have a higher percentage of blue on the card? Line them up. And so it's quick to learn, but easy and fun to play, which just is fabulous. So we very much enjoy Push, and I hope you check it out. Thanks, and see you next time from Game Like a Mother.